This video, Global Perspectives and Research, focuses on Component 3. It's part 1 of 3 videos dealing with Component 3. Before we start, just to remind you of how the components are broken down. The assessment has 3 components. Component 1, the written test, 30%. Component 2, research essay, 35%. And the remaining 35% is for Component 3. And that is the presentation, 25%, and the reflection paper, 10%. Component 3 focuses on the team project, and it will look at a whole set of skills that you'll need. Those in red demonstrate your ability to work in a group. So can you contribute to a group? Can you allocate work fairly within that group? Can you help the group make decisions? And can you resolve conflict within the group? Now, in addition to that, you need to be able to manage your time, especially meeting deadlines. You'll need to be able to carry out effective research, and having done that research, you need to organise all your research findings, and you need to recognise creditable sources. And then the communication and the reflection. Now, these will be more topics, that's communication and reflection, in the next 2 videos. So, you need to work in teams of 2, 3, 4, or 5 of you, and you need to consider a topic which should have local significance but have global implications. And you need to be able to research a variety of perspectives. In other words, different people's opinions and thought. Now, by way of example, I've decided to use Thailand's minimum wage, because I think in our group it will allow me and the group to consider Thailand's approach to the minimum wage and consider the global implications and be able to compare policies in places like the USA, Europe, and other ASEAN nations. And it will also allow me to consider perspectives from, say, an employer, an employee, an academic, a multinational company, and maybe much more. This will become evident as we work through the research. So, what might the issues be to the minimum wage? Now, as a group, this can also be a very good starting point. Just brainstorm what you think those issues might be. In my case, the minimum wage, what is it? How much is it? Who has to pay it? Do all employees have to pay it? For example, if you were to employ members of your family or a spouse. Okay, so how would it be enforced? How would a government make sure that it's actually being paid? Does it help create or possibly lose jobs? What other ASEAN countries have one? Is it ASEAN policy? Who receives it? Is it all ages, for all jobs? Can foreigners receive it? Okay, I can go on indefinitely with this, but ultimately I need to find out who is against it and who is in favour, and what are their arguments for and against a minimum wage in Thailand, and how that compares with countries abroad. So we go on and on. Now we need to design a research question. So we want to consider some possible questions as a group. Now I've just designed a few purely at random as an illustration. So for example, what has been the impact of having a minimum wage on Thailand's working population? And should it be maintained? What has been the impact of having a minimum wage on poverty in Thailand? And should the minimum wage possibly be increased? Has the minimum wage impacted on Thailand's competitiveness in the world? And should it be abolished? To what extent has the minimum wage helped poorer families? Yep, we can go on with these kind of questions forever. But if you go back to the kind of skills that you need in your group, you've got to decide jointly on a research question. And by now you should have had some training on that. Okay, we need then to look at our topic through various lenses. Do we want to look at it from a technology lens, or a science lens, culture, politics, ethics, economics, or environment? Now, there's no sort of definite how many lenses do we need to look at this topic through, but you certainly don't need to look at the topic through all lenses. 2, 3 may be enough. So in my example, I may choose to look at the minimum wage through just 3 lenses. So I want to look at the political lens. How did it come about? What are the politics involved? What are the economics? One of the issues could be the economics of job creation. Does it take jobs away? It talks about competitiveness. And what about the ethics? Is it the right thing to do? So next we move on to the research. Your group must now carry out the research into your topic, finding a variety of local and global perspectives and through different lenses. But please remember what you're looking for. You need evidence of an existing problem. Identifying the issues will help you get started. So if you've listed your issues, if you've decided on the lenses, this will at least help you focus on the kind of problems you might be looking for. And what is already being done to address and solve the problem posed in your question? You want to gather views and opinions, and you might want to start off with your own, because one of the roles of reflection is to see how your views might have changed at the end of your project compared to what your views might have been at this stage. But your group must now carry out the research into your topic, finding a variety of local and global perspectives through these different lenses. But group members should research different areas. This is about division of labour. Don't have all of you doing all of the research. divide it up, come back and share your findings. Then, after that, each group member can work on their own solution to this local problem. Throughout all of this, keep records of your research. You'll need this for your reflection paper and to support your fellow group members. Maintain and use a research log. Use appropriate research methods and methodology. All of this you'll have been taught by the time you get to this stage. Select and analyze appropriate concepts, arguments, perspectives, and evidence from a range of source materials. Use creditable evidence to support arguments and perspectives. Analyze relevant perspectives showing awareness of how the arguments, claims, and the nature of the evidence are used to support conclusions. Okay, so let's see what is actually being assessed in the presentation itself, because I think that's really important so that your efforts are correctly directed. It will be recorded and sent to Cambridge in the UK, along with your reflection papers. Examiners, though, will not be interested in the actual content itself. They'll be more concerned with the way in which you have reconstructed the work, more the issue of the next video, and then communicated it to an audience. All right, so more on the presentation itself in the second video. The presentation itself must not exceed 8 minutes and must be delivered to an audience of 3 or more people. So clearly that would be in front of you, probably in front of your other group members and a teacher or two. The skills that are actually examined. Okay, the structure and communication of your argument. The quality of your research, whether it's creditable, the actual sources you've used. The perspectives you've considered, very important, local and global, and any relationships between the two. How your perspectives, actually you personally, your perspectives might differ from that of the group you've worked in. The quality and strength of your argument and how it relates to the original problem set and supported evidence gathered, and the creativity of your presentation. Okay, in groups, I would suggest that you complete the form. There's an image of it here. You get that from your teacher, or you can email me for a copy, david@amway.ac.th. Okay, so the next video will focus on the reconstruction and the communication, in other words, the presentation, with the third video dealing more with the reflection paper. So with that, good luck.